All right, ladies, let's talk about the midlife rage. Not fun. No, nobody loves it. But where does it come from? Well, it comes from a couple different places. But today I want to talk about the emotional baggage that can be underlying and driving the rage in midlife. So, how does that work? I'm eating a snack here. How's that work? Well, so estrogen starts to decline in midlife, and that is our hormone that keeps us very agreeable. Why? Because the children and the mothering and all of that is front and center. Doesn't matter whether you have children or not. Estrogen is our nice hormone, our hormone that makes us too accommodating. Yeah, I'll just come out and say it, too accommodating. So the issue lies then in midlife when the estrogen starts to decline, or rather on this roller coaster. When that estrogen starts to decline and we no longer have that hormone that's creating this buffer, all of a sudden it's like the rose-colored glasses comes off. The veil that is thin becomes thinner, so to speak, goes away. And now you're left with what the actual fuck has been going on here. I've been carrying this, I've been carrying that, I've been dealing with this, I've been dealing with that, emotional overload, burnout, all this stuff that you've just kind of been taken care of, oftentimes disregarding yourself, putting yourself last in line. And then you're looking around and it's like, okay, people around me, it's time for you to get your ish together. That usually doesn't come out very nice. And it can be as big and as loud as the amount that you have abandoned yourself, the amount that you have not set good boundaries around yourself. I'm not saying it's your fault. Don't get me wrong. Don't come for me on that. But what I'm saying is, it's no longer your biology is no longer going to allow for you to accept that. It's kind of beautiful. And that it's a built-in protective mechanism as we step into what is otherwise, in other cultures, the wisdom years. The years where in other cultures or in other mammals, there's a reverence for this phase of life with women. And we can all look around. Most women are healing. They're looking to heal. They're looking to get things situated and right in their life. Many women are finding more spiritual connection and connection to all that is. Certainly more of a connection and awareness of the overall natural and cosmic cycles. I'll leave that for another time. But in this awareness, just a lot of frustration and rage and anger and resentment and all of that comes up. And you might not like this, but it's an opportunity. All of that is an opportunity. It's not going to feel like that for a while, but it is an opportunity. So, I'm there. I'm midlife. It's been a couple years getting my house back in order. The biggest boon for me was the energy work. It's the biggest boon for my clients as well. We're dealing with this. And specifically what we're looking at are those emotions. So I'm an Emotion Code Practitioner, and with Emotion Code we can go in and identify various aspects of stored emotional energy in the body, in your field, that, again, now that estrogen isn't there acting as your buffer, everything's very raw. Everything's very raw and unprocessed. And that's a lot to sort through. But in terms of actually dealing with the past emotional conflicts and energy that gets stored in our body and stored in our womb, stored in our ovaries, stored in that whole region, not just there, anywhere. The shoulder, frozen shoulder, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. All of this stuff is, these are not foreign ideas, but sometimes it's difficult to put it together. So how do I help people? Energy work. I utilize Emotion Code. I utilize some other modalities as well, because there are external energies that can also be affecting us, distorting things, influencing, etc. So between these things, what we can do is release a lot of the negative energy and the negative emotional energy that's stored, giving you a much more balanced baseline to operate from, so that your cup that is full of rage, anger, resentment, etc., can start to clear out and make space for the life that you desire to have as you move into perimenopause, menopause, and beyond. Life from this point forward, ladies, will not look the same as it did before. So we do have to practice acceptance that those days are done. So the idea of getting back to yourself, it's not going to happen. Nor do you want it to. Do you want to keep carrying all the load and being so frustrated and burnt out that, you're carrying the load? No. I don't want to go back to that. But what we can do is step into a really beautiful version of ourselves that has gone back and processed and released some of these things, so you can move forward. The liver is highly, highly affected by these emotions such as anger, resentment, all of that. I think a lot of people have heard of that through Chinese medicine. And the liver is what is processing the hormonal shifts. So you tell me, do you want a liver right now during this transitional phase that's full of anger, resentment, etc., 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 that is constantly also generating the frequencies of those emotions? Or during this time, do you want a liver that has a reduced amount of those negative, tough emotions stored in it, so that it's got more energy to process everything else? That's how that stuff goes.